A honey badger once bit a lion on the nose. Not because it was cornered, not because it had no other option, because the lion was standing between it and something it wanted, and that was simply not going to be acceptable. That honey badger was fine, by the way. You arrive in a borrowed burrow, underground, blind and bald, and making sounds that are more squeak than snarl. Your mother did not dig this den herself. She found it, decided it was adequate, and moved in. That is your first inheritance, the understanding that the world's resources are available to whoever has the confidence to claim them. Your mother is outside right now, snarling at a predator twice her size. You cannot see it happening, but it is happening. She does this casually, the way other animals breathe. For the first few months, life is simple. You eat, you sleep, you occasionally bite your mother's tail to see what happens. She ignores it, which tells you something important about pain tolerance in this family. You have no idea what is coming, but it is coming fast. Your mother's first real lesson does not come with a warning. She leads you to a beehive and tears it open with her claws like she has a personal grievance with it. The bees respond the way bees respond, by covering every surface of her body in pure fury. She does not stop. She does not flinch. She pulls out the honeycomb and eats it, while several hundred bees attempt to make their feelings known. Then she grunts at you. Your turn. You edge forward, swipe at the hive, and a bee stings your nose. You yelp, you fall sideways. You reconsider every decision that led to this moment. Your mother continues eating without looking at you. Here is what she is actually teaching you, though she will never say it. The sting is real, the pain is real, and you are going to feel it anyway. The reward is on the other side of that feeling, and the only way to get there is through. Pain is not a stop sign out here. It is just information. Over weeks, you stop crying at the sting and start tasting the honey faster. That is growth. Independence arrives before you are ready, which is exactly when it is supposed to arrive. Your first hunt is a scorpion. It looks slow. It is not slow. It stings your paw and walks away while you roll in the grass, reconsidering your life. Your second attempt gets you a lizard's tail and nothing else. By the third and fourth tries, something starts clicking, not confidence exactly, more like a stubborn refusal to let the prey keep winning. By the time your mother steps back entirely, you can handle scorpions, snakes, small mammals, and the occasional cobra. The cobra is worth mentioning specifically. One bite should put most animals down. For you, it puts you to sleep under a tree for a few hours, while your immune system handles the situation, and then you wake up hungry. The savannah is learning what you are. You are still learning it yourself. A leopard is guarding a fresh kill when you find it. Any reasonable animal reads that situation and walks in a different direction. You read that situation and decide the leopard is in your spot. The leopard growls. You walk closer. It snarls and lunges. You lunge back directly at its face, and for a moment the two of you are locked in a standoff that makes no logical sense given the size difference. The leopard does the math. It involves calculating whether the meal is worth the relentless, unreasonable, personally insulting experience of fighting something that appears to have no self-preservation instinct whatsoever. It decides it is not worth the math. It leaves. You drag the carcass away like this was the plan from the beginning. This becomes the pattern. Lions test you once, then step around you. Hyenas learn to look somewhere else when you appear. Wild dogs sniffing around your food get a response that makes the food not worth the trouble. You do not win by being bigger or stronger. You win by making the cost of the fight feel larger than the reward. That is a psychological strategy. You run it perfectly, every time. Territory does not wait for you to be ready. Your first attempt at claiming land ends with an older honey badger hitting you so fast you barely process that the fight started before it's already over. You limp away. You find somewhere else. You drive a jackal off a decent patch of grassland with a snarl and one-half committed charge, and that jackal does not come back, because jackals understand cost-benefit analysis better than most. You patrol the borders. You mark every corner. You handle every intruder quickly. A mongoose here, a wandering fox there, and the word spreads in the way it spreads in the animal world. Not in language, but in behavior. Things reroute around your land. That is how you know it is truly yours. You are not as fast as you were. The fights that you once walked into without calculating anything now leave you sore for days, and you have quietly started calculating. This is not fear. You have earned the right to be selective. There is a difference. Then a younger honey badger comes into your territory with that exact energy you remember from your own early years, reckless, furious, completely certain that size and age mean nothing. Because that is what you used to know. The fight is harder than you want it to be. You drive the intruder off, but as you watch it disappear into the grass, something sits in your chest that is not quite pain and not quite pride. You know what that animal is going to become. You were that animal. And you know that one day, not today, but one day something exactly like you is going to come back and win. That is not a tragedy. That is just the cycle completing itself. The end does not arrive as a defeat. You find shade under a tree one afternoon and you lie down, and for the first time in your entire life, you stop scanning the horizon. Not because you cannot, because you have decided you are done. There is a difference, and it matters. A honey badger does not fade. It simply stops choosing to fight. Somewhere out in the grass, another one is starting. Maybe biting its mother's tail right now. Maybe charging something 3 times its size with no plan and no backup and absolutely no doubt. The cycle does not need your permission to continue. You lived every single day exactly as you were supposed to, stubborn, fearless, and completely unbothered by the size of whatever was standing in your way. That is enough. It was always enough. If that story moves something in you, Fauna is where you belong. Subscribe now and hit the bell. A new life is waiting for you every single week.